the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. Help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. Help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Brad,
And I'm Christa.
the Big Family Homestead. Hope you're having an awesome day wherever
Whenever.
you're watching this doohickey thingamabobber.
That's right. Hey, that worked pretty well. We didn't even rehearse that.
Nice. Hey, so today we want to talk about preparedness foods.
Yay!
I have no idea why this would be a good topic to talk about today.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Well, as you guys know, you see what's going on. There's a lot of wanky stuff going on out there.
Well, we got trouble, my friends.
Right here in River City.
Starts with a T and that rhymes with P, and that stands for politicians.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the scoop, folks. Live stream, but we're going to make this content hopefully consumable for the people after and long after and long after. So the cool thing is be a part of the conversation because your comments are recorded, and make suggestions, add to the topics.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about foods that now these are not permanently forever foods that don't expire, just so you know, because that'd be kind of silly. Our criteria is going to be 15 to 20 years without without ridiculous extremes in storage.
Right.
So 20-ish years.
I would say about 20-ish years. Honestly, if I have food that lasts me until I'm 70,
I'm good.
Fantastic.
I'm good.
That's great.
Just throw some dirt on me and get the worms ready. I'm going in.
That's right. I'm just diving right in. Yep. Done.
So here's the scoop. Here we go. We had done some research, and this is just, these are things that we know of over the past 15, 18 years, no, about 15 years in preparedness. But we also went and did some research. And once again, like if you were around the other day when we were looking at, what were the items that was, things to do now, to get started now.
Yeah.
For financial, if there was a financial problem, most of them were just completely wacky.
Update your resume. That was my favorite one.
Yeah. Like if there's going to be a major economic problem, most of the people said, update your resume. Well, that wouldn't do very well if you just, can't eat and stuff like that.
Can you eat your resume?
Be a tasty resume.
Yeah.
So one thing we did find, though, was a website we were really encouraged to see that was good information.
Yep.
And another one came up today. We were making our list of stuff we wanted to talk about, and it kept lining up with that same website. So we want to give them props. The Provident Prepper.
Yep. So this is top foods to prepare with for the end of the world as we know it.
Ooh, zombies are on the way.
Dun, dun.
Okay, first one, big one. I agree with these people 100%.
Yep. Grains, definitely any kind of grain, wheat, spelt, kamut. I don't know how to say that one. I've never bought that one, so I have no idea. And then einkorn. I know a lot of people use einkorn for making their own sourdough starters. We haven't gotten that around here. We've never had that here. We'd have to order that in from somewhere else. So we just go with straight wheat berries. That's the easy thing for us to do.
Yep.
But definitely wheat berries. And there are many different kinds of wheat berries. And, wheat berries are not just used for making bread. You can sprout them and eat them. You can also grow them. You can just throw them in the ground. It takes a little while, but you know what I'm saying. But you can also sprout them for feeding your animals.
Yahtzee.
So it's a great source for.
You do need to know how to store them properly. That's a good bit. Well, we have videos on that, but just the short version is Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, and into sealed buckets that are food
5-gallon
grade.
buckets, and you can get different size Mylar bags and seal up in 1-gallon size bags instead of a whole big 5-gallon bucket. If it's just a couple of you, then you won't have to. The bucket won't not essentially go to waste, but you can store them in smaller bags.
Right.
So
einkorn, huh? Finkel is einkorn. Einkorn is Finkel.
No, it's einhorn. No, it's not the same. Not the same.
Different
anyway.
movie, different show.
Sure, definitely. And not just those kind of grains, but wheat, oat groats, steel cut oats, and rolled oats. Those are a great way. Don't do quick oats. Quick oats go bad faster, but rolled oats are better. They last longer. So. Yes. The less processed the grain is, the better, the longer and better it will be.
Yahtzee.
The longer it will last, the better it will be.
So, okay, next one. This is the one that we started out with basically 3 things. There was beans. There was another thing that rhymes with a B that goes at a high velocity and keeps away pests. Rhyme, yeah.
Yes.
You get it. You get it.
Rhymes with pullets.
Yes.
Yes.
And we don't mean chickens.
Chickens, yes. Chickens.
But this one was one of the top ones because it's affordable. You can feed a lot of people with it. And if you store it right, it's going to last a very, very long time.
Yep. Rice. Definitely rice. White rice. I know everybody's like, no, but brown rice is healthy for you. Yes, but it also goes rancid faster.
Yes.
So white rice, actually, it is high in calories, but it's definitely going to get you through. I mean, shoot. If it's the end of the world as we know it, you're going to want higher calories anyway.
That's right.
You're not going to be worried about,
you're slim.
I've got to be low carb.
My girlish figure.
No, sorry. You're going to want to keep those calories coming.
You know, another thing that
the whole keto diet, that's out the window, pal.
Keto, forget it. Well,
yeah, exactly. You could. Yeah, you could.
There's a lot of things that would be running around that you could harvest and eat like that.
Sure.
But one other thing about the rice that I think is a good thing to consider is that very few people actually have any kind of food allergy to rice.
Yes.
Now, again, if it's the end of the world as we know it, then food allergies, it's going to be like, suck it up, buttercup, deal with it. But
unless it's
danger,
it's a danger allergy, I mean, like peanuts. If you have a peanut allergy and you get an anaphylactic shock, you might want to avoid that.
Yeah, don't do that.
When you think about doing that, don't do that.
It's the Dan Bongino rule.
Don't get dead.
Don't get dead.
Right.
Number 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, few people have allergies to rice.
The thing with storing rice and then keeping it and eating it over the time of the end of the world as we know it, you're going to want different seasonings. Yes. Because plain white rice, you'll get sick of really fast.
Quick. It's called food fatigue.
Yes.
Yep. And just hit the dollar stores for that kind of thing because you can usually pick up a good size amount of seasonings and just get a bunch of them.
Or grow them yourself. Spices. I mean, you can grow tons of herbs for really cheap and dry them. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Well, that's a definite resupply.
That's a resupply thing. But to get started, you definitely can get some from the $1.25 store. You can't say the dollar store anymore because they're not. So that's $1.25.
Here's another one that everybody pretty much seems to start out with, and it's a good one, and that is
beans and legumes. You want to stock up on your beans and your lentils and things like that. You gotta keep that protein. You got to keep that protein up.
Yep. And just a rule of thumb, you're going to want about 80 pounds per person.
Per how long? Per month? Per year? Okay.
About 80 pounds per year. And just mix it up.
Yeah.
You like navy beans, go navy beans. Navy beans, navy beans, navy beans.
I mean, you can do black beans. You could make a Cuban black bean soup. Oh, so good. Tacos. You can make all kinds of refried beans with the pinto beans. We like to use red beans for our red beans and rice.
Yes.
It's funny. They look different, but honestly, if you put them side by side, plain, they probably would all taste about the same.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know. I've never done that before. I've never done like a blind taste test on what the difference between a black bean and a red bean tastes like.
All right, folks, this is the time right now. Here it is. I'm going to be looking at the comments section, and whoever has the most unique recipe. What's your favorite recipe with rice? That's the question. Favorite recipe with rice. And if I find the most unique recipe, you will get serious cool points from the internet. We will all herald you as amazing and awesome. So type in those favorite rice recipes. So another thing is I count this in the beans and legumes category, and that is dried peas.
Yes. Dried
That's
peas.
more her than me, but I got.
Well, you can make a split pea soup which I'm not a super huge fan of, but you know, they're
soup.
good for you. Yeah, I mean,
They are.
Yeah, it's okay.
They are. Now, this is one I didn't realize initially when we started in preparedness, and that is potato flakes.
Yeah, potato flakes, they're fast food. I mean, honestly, if you need to have something, you can boil water, you can make potatoes right then and there.
Yeah.
They're going to last 25 to 30 years, you know, if you store them right. If you put them in the Mylar bags and in a bucket, oxygen absorber, all of these things definitely could be done that way. They're just going to last a long time.
Rice pudding with fresh peaches. Ooh. That sounds good to me.
I can't do rice pudding. Sorry, rice should not be sweet. Rice is savory. I'm the same way. Like bread pudding, no.
Well,
no. I guess I had a bad experience when I was a kid.
I had a bad experience.
Well, no, you're supposed to say what happened.
What happened?
I had a bad experience.
Right.
So yeah.
So here's the thing too. At our local, they're bulk foods, but they also do natural foods and stuff. The one that's nearby us is called JLR Valley. They're awesome people. If you live anywhere in central Wisconsin, go say hi to Jeff and Lita. They're great people, and they will sell you potato flakes in gigantic bags.
Humongous bags.
I don't even know how heavy they are, but they're
50 pounds.
Those are 50-pound bags? No, I think they're like 30. But they're big bags.
Hope would know, but I can't think of it.
They're the big bags that are like, they're bigger than the 50-pound bag of dog food that we get.
Yeah. They're big.
And they're actually very, very good.
Yes. Yep.
Heather says no sweet rice.
No. Yep. No. It's
Sweetums.
Yeah.
So potato flakes, that's a must. It can go with just about anything.
Yeah.
And
you can use potato flakes. I'm sorry. You can use potato flakes to thicken soups too.
Yes.
And gravies.
Good call.
So if you run out of flour, you can use potato flakes, or if you're gluten free, you can use potato flakes to thicken flour, gravies and soups and stuff like that.
Nice.
So yeah. And that was an advice given on when we made the soup the last time up here. I can't remember. Somebody had mentioned using potato flakes, and I thought that was a great idea. Paella?
Yeah, paella.
Yes.
I was just going to say Amy's
My
low-carb
favorite.
prepper.
My favorite.
So, yeah, potato flakes. Definitely a fave. Now, here's another thing. This one, I promise you, this is not a commercial for Thrive Life, even though we love our Thrive Life. We use it all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really qualifies because you either have to have a freeze dryer or you have to buy it freeze dried. But then it's any kind of food you want, freeze dried food.
Right. Any kind of fruits or vegetables, if you can get them freeze dried, definitely would be a definite. That would be the choice I would make, is freeze dried over dehydrated, because approximately 97% of the nutrition is kept in that.
Yeah.
In that food. So I would go with freeze dried over dehydrated, hands down, every day, all the time.
Brenda is asking if JLR Valley, if they can order it online. And the answer is I don't think so, because it would be cost prohibitive to send a gigantic bag of potato flakes.
Yeah, they're just a small little mom and pop store. They don't do online ordering like that.
So freeze dried food, great. The only thing I want to talk about and then we're going to move on from the freeze-dried food thing, is our philosophy on freeze-dried food is we buy what it is really difficult to either grow here, make here, or acquire here.
Yes.
So we don't personally buy much of the proteins. We don't buy chicken. We don't buy the beef because we raise our own chicken and beef.
Right.
We don't buy things that we can grow in the ground during the summer months. But things like pineapple, not so easy to grow in Wisconsin.
Right.
So we get
bananas,
we get stuff like that.
That's another thing we can't grow here. So we buy pineapple, bananas. We buy other things for our daughter Grace because she's G-tube fed. So I grind up her food powder, when we use freeze-dried stuff to grind her powder to make her food. Did I say freeze-dried powder? Freeze-dried food to make her powder, Goodness gracious.
It's
It's been a long day, and it's, yeah. So, yeah, we buy those things for her foods. But, yeah, we generally grow as much as we can. And if we can't grow it here, then we get it freeze-dried.
Yep. Now, here's one that, okay, if you're worried about health conscious stuff, don't be this. Because guess what? if there's a real bad problem in the country, you would be glad to get it and you would not complain a bit.
Exactly.
And that is?
White sugar.
Plain
old white
sugar.
Yes, you can go with cane sugar or organic.
You can.
White sugar is cheap. And you can buy it in 50-pound bags for really, really inexpensive. Well, okay, relatively inexpensive. But it doesn't have any health benefits, no. But what it does do is when you need to make jam with the fruits that you're growing,
so you can preserve
you need white sugar. Yeah. You can do a refrigerator jam that doesn't have any sugar in it. It doesn't last longer. If you have electricity, it doesn't last nearly as long. If you don't have electricity, you can't do a freezer jam. So if you're going to preserve the fruits that you grow, you need white sugar and pectin. So that's just the way it's got to be. And then it'll stay on your shelf for many, many years.
There you go.
So,
well, and you could just go to, say, church and get one of the little sugar packets every week. Bring that home. Over time?
No, that's not nearly enough.
Over time?
No, not even over time.
Over time? No?
No.
I don't think they'd mind if you just took one a week. Mind if I take this home? Ask somebody.
Even if you took a handful home every week, you still wouldn't have enough. No.
Just
go buy sugar. If you have Sam's Club, or even if go to Walmart, whatever, just buy a 25-pound bag right then or two and throw it in there. Yeah.
Well, Short Pants Bee Farmer, this next one on the list, I see your name. I see you here.
Well, he says his bees wouldn't survive without sugar.
Well, it is Wisconsin. And if you're going to overwinter bees, keeping them sugared is kind of a thing. So the next one, though, is one of my faves.
Honey. Your faves? My faves. Holy smokes. I go through a lot of honey.
Short Pants Bee Farmer is actually where we get our honey. We used to keep bees until we moved to Wisconsin. Yeah. And man, I can't keep those little suckers alive. And
no.
I had bad, it was like 60% attrition for me. Yeah. And I know a lot of guys, they don't care. They'll just buy the bees every year. But for me, I just couldn't do it.
No.
I was just thinking, this is just horrible. You're just using them kind of like a tool then, which that's not me.
Right. Well, and he has over 50 years experience.
Short Pants.
That's what I meant, with raising bees. So he knows what he's doing. He raises his own queens and all of that. But yeah, we just get our honey from him, and it's local. It's considered local for us, which is great for any allergies that we have, and wounds. It's raw.
I was going to say, what else can you do with it?
You use it for wounds. It is the best wound care. If you have a wound, you get it clean, keep it clean, facilitate healing. Right, Amy? Testify. You're gonna put that honey on there after you get it clean, and it's gonna facilitate that healing. So
stay away from the fire ant pits.
Yes.
They will love you. What's your favorite recipe with honey?
Man,
I'll tell you what mine is.
What?
If you know anybody,
I know what it is.
If you know anybody, but it has to be good, is baklava. Oh man! If you ever had a good baklava, daggone.
When I was a kid, when you said that, I just remembered this story. When I was growing up, there was an Indian family. No. Sorry, they were Greek, not Indian. I did grow up near an Indian family as well.
If they were really good at baklava, that would be kind of
weird. No, this Greek family, and they made the best baklava that I've ever had.
It's the very thin layers.
Very thin, yes. Yeah. Elderberry syrup is another good thing, yes.
All right, next one on the list used to be actually a traded currency and has... so many. You guys try to guess this next one. I already gave away a good hint.
Yep.
But the next one is used to be traded like currency, and has so many uses. It would be hard to even say them all in 20 minutes. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What do you think? What's the ingredient?
Let's wait.
It's an ingredient.
It is an ingredient. Yep.
That has been used for thousands of years. You got it.
Sure, you
Shree.
got it. Salt. Amy was next. Yep.
Salt. Do tell.
Yep. Salt is something that your body requires.
Have to have it.
What does it say? Is it like 1,500 milligrams
I don't know that
of
stat.
salt? Why is that? I don't know why that's
A day?
sticking out.
I know why.
Why?
Because we watched Jericho far too many times.
Oh, probably.
And they had a salt mine in the
Yes.
the TV show Jericho.
Yes.
And they were fighting over the salt.
Yeah. So salt is definitely a requirement for your body. If your body lacks salt, it's not going to be good.
Did you guys ever watch that TV show Jericho?
It's a great show.
I'm sorry. I cut you off.
all right.
I had a squirrel. Go back to salt.
It can be used for pickling, preserving. You can what is it?
You can use it as a defense mechanism when you throw it in
preserving
people's
meat.
eyes. Throw it in their eyes.
Sure, you can do that too. But preserving meat, if you don't have, you can salt your meat to smoke it. No,
Matt.
sorry, Matt. That's not the one we were talking about.
It has been traded for thousands of years.
500 milligrams. Okay. So I knew there was a 5 in there. But
Yeah.
So yeah, salt is definitely an important thing you need to have.
And also you do need iodized salt
you do
as
need
well.
your body does need iodine. Yeah, there's a lot of issues that can crop up or
Curing meat. Yep.
peep up. What is the term? Creep up if you don't have iodine. There's some
Yes.
issues that
Well, let's just say that there are a few, possibility things where your body might need to have a good healthy amount of iodine. Just saying. You might want to look that up.
Yeah.
What it's good for.
Yeah.
But it's not, yeah, okay. Now, all right, this one, you just go for this one.
Okay, baking soda. Everybody knows what baking soda is used for. Leavening, cleaning agents, personal hygiene. There's so many things that you use baking soda for. Brushing your teeth. I use it almost not daily, but as a exfoliant for my skin. Yeah, so there's so many things that baking soda can be used for, and it's inexpensive. So if you need, if you're going to make bread or like a quick bread, that kind of thing, baking soda is definitely a go-to. So
This one we use for, I would say honestly, 10 different things in the house.
Daily.
Mm-hmm. That's vinegar.
Yep.
Not hard to make though. Vinegar's not that hard to make.
Yep.
But speak about a few of the things that we actually use daily.
Well, you drink apple cider vinegar every day.
Changes the blood pH. Helps change the blood pH. Not
Right.
that I'm a doctor, because I'm not.
Right. We use it for cleaning.
Yes.
We have it in a mixture with Dawn soap and baking soda, and we use it as a cleaner in our bathrooms.
You can actually use it to take off skin tags.
Huh?
You can. Warts too.
Oh, apple cider vinegar. Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking white vinegar. No way. But apple cider vinegar. Yes.
Yeah.
We also use white vinegar in our laundry to get those lovely odors from the barn.
Teenage odors.
And teenage odors out of our clothing. So yeah, there's so many different things that you can use
All right.
vinegar for.
Cue you guys. What's your favorite use for vinegar, or what do you use vinegar for
Yep.
at your house while we go on to the next item on the list? And that is this one. I think it might be top 4.
Yeah.
Top 4.
Yep. Ascorbic acid powder, i.e. Vitamin C. If you have it as a powder, then you can use it for helping to preserve the color in your fruits. When you're when you're going to make jam.
Yeah.
You know, if you put a little bit of ascorbic acid in there, even if you had lemon juice, it's very similar. But yeah, to add that to the vegetables. But vitamin C is, you know, the very best way to get it is from fresh fruit. But this is a next best alternative.
Let's see. There was a question. Wanda's asking, how do you drink apple cider vinegar every day? I use it for leg cramps. I have a little measuring cup, and I pour it into the cup, and then I put as much water in my mouth as I can keep in there, and then I just pop it in and chug it down real fast.
Yeah.
Because
it doesn't taste very good.
It's not
but,
good, but
yeah.
it helps change the pH in my blood, which I've got an autoimmune thing going on in my back, and well, you know, it's been nice to see that, you know, about 15 different rheumatologists all come up with different ideas on what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
And none of them agree.
Right.
And I still have pain. So that said, I take the apple cider vinegar, and it does help a little bit, but I'll take any little bit of help I can get.
Right, right. You can also just dilute it with water, and you can even add a little bit of honey to it, and then it makes a delicious drink.
Yes. Now, here's the scoop. All of these things are really affordable right now.
Yep.
If there was a major problem in the society that we live in, heaven forbid, how much do you think that, say, I don't know, like honey would be going for? Because right now it's what, about $7 a pound, $8 a pound, depending on where you live?
Depending on where you live, yeah, it's much higher some places, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so if you couldn't get it, then what's it worth?
Oh, it's priceless.
Things get to be pretty pricey pretty quick. So we don't do scare tactics, and we don't do fear, so we're not going to... I'm sure that you guys all know where we're at in the society. So for us to say, please go around to your house, look in all the shelves, and make a list of what you got, and
what you don't got,
and reconsider maybe spending a few bucks to get yourself situated at least for 6 months to a year.
Yeah. And have a way to resupply it.
That's
that's the thing. You can buy all these beans and rice, but if you have no way to resupply those beans and rice, why?
Exactly. I mean, well, you'll eat through them. I mean,
yeah, you'll eat through them.
But you know,
live another few months.
The second then you open that first container of preparedness food, the clock's ticking.
Yes.
Unless you have a way to resupply.
Yeah. The beautiful part of having those beans is you can take some of those beans and plant them.
Oh my gracious. Becky says organic honey here is $16 a pound.
Where are you, Becky?
Come on over and I'll sell you the honey that I got from Short Pants.
Right.
At $16 a pound. No, I'll give you a deal. $12 a pound.
Yeah.
Because we get it from him for $7 or $8 a pound.
Oh my gosh.
I would not do that.
No, of course not.
But I think this could possibly be the biggest piece of advice when it comes to food on hand. Learn some skills. Learn how to garden. But that's not really the big deal. Learn what it is to have a food forest in your backyard, permaculture. Learn about the plants that are already growing in your area that are edibles, wild edibles. You can go to just about any bookstore and get a wild edibles chart or book for your area, and then get yourself identifying what they are, because there could be food all around you, and most of us would never know it.
Yeah, where we're at, there is at least 15 to 20 different edible medicinal herbs right within walking distance of on our property.
Yeah.
There's some that we walk over every day going out to the barn.
Wild lettuce, I know they're out there.
There's also plantain. Foraging is a huge deal.
Yes.
Where you're at, you need to know, because there's a lot of people who will just starve to death with a huge forest of food all around them.
They wouldn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, there's a lot of skills, John. I agree. Learn to cook over an open fire. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Do you suggest any herbal medicine plants or books? How about that for a setup?
Yes.
Jenny?
Amy, would you please put the title of the book in the chat for me? Because I'm drawing a complete blank again. And it's Dr. Christopher's Herbal something, and I cannot think of it. But that is probably the best herbal book that I know of.
And you learned about that at what class?
The Patriot Nurse, her live training classes.
Which are excellent.
Excellent. Yep. And
Excellent.
Amy was there with me, and she can attest to the magnitude of the amount of stuff that we learned those 4 days. It was amazing.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready.
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
Yeah.
We live in crazy times, and well, we're going to need to band together if we're getting through all this.
Yeah.
So
get to know your neighbors, build community, work together.
All the yada yada and yippee skippy.
Yep.
So here's a scripture tune that I sang, and hope you like it. Yeah. I guess we're gonna go because it's time to get going.
Yeah. You guys have a blessed day.
All right. Bye.
Have been united with him in a death like his. We shall certainly be united with him in a resurrection like his. We know that our old self was crucified with him in order that the body of sin might be brought to nothing. What shall we say then? Are we to continue in sin that grace may abound? By no means. How can we who died to sin still live in it? So that we would no longer be enslaved to sin. For the one who has died has been set free from sin. Now if we have died with Christ, we believe that we will also live with him. We know that Christ, being raised from the dead, will never die again. Death no longer has dominion over him. For the death he died to sin. What shall we say then? Are we to continue in sin that grace may abound? By no means. How can we who died to sin still live in it? Do you not know that all of us who have been baptized into Christ Jesus were baptized into his death? We were buried therefore with him by baptism into death, in order that just as Christ was raised. Once for all, but the life he lives to God. So you also must consider yourselves dead to sin and alive to God in Christ Jesus. What shall we say then? Are we to continue in sin that grace may abound?